Great rise of beautiful beings. Great rise of beautiful beings. We got to chat. I mean, definitely got to chat. Okay. Okay. We definitely got to chat, y'all. I mean, seriously. Hold on 1 second. That may be too loud. Okay. So, Spirit was saying the reason why they never tore down the city centers where they had the powerhouses at, like where you see the copper domes and you can see all the energy. Spirit said, you don't get it. They may have made it so that you can't receive the energy at this vibratory rate, but you don't get it. And all I could do was always think about Fringe, the movie Fringe, when they would have anomalies and two parallel worlds would collide and a building would merge with another building. So it'd be like this funky looking building because whoever was living in that building and whoever was living in the other building in the parallel universe, they collide together and you just got this funky looking building just in your world and don't know how it got there, right? So whatever was living in that building, they're together. Like you got to figure out a way to get out of this building within a building. Well, Spirit said, you don't get it. But now I do. Spirit said, they still here. Because I kept saying, okay, if the Tartarians, the Moors, the Mers, America, the Mares, if the Mares went to war with a parasite or a totalitarian or a utilitarian, okay? If they got compromised or literally went through some like galactic war shit, right? So all the surface walkers, what happened to them, right? It's bigger than a mud flood. It's bigger than a Noah's Ark, okay? You got different levels to it, but Spirit was like, they still here. Spirit was like, you got to raise your vibration. We are in such a wicked vibration. Let me explain. The signals, the frequencies, the radio waves that put us to sleep and our parents and our forefathers, the radio waves and the sounds and the towers that put us to sleep. We have to overcome that frequency. Because when you overcome that frequency, you will start to see the anomaly. See, we would have been beat the towers, but they gave us the device in our hand and they started spraying the sky and they started simulating nanoparticles within our bodies. So now we got to go overcome the neurotoxin metals, okay? But Spirit was like, it is still here. The people who couldn't make the shift are here. And the ones that made the shift, these parasitic entities that's doing all this to this plane of existence, remember, they're doing it to this plane of existence. If you get on another frequency, this toxic reality doesn't exist. that is just a dense shell of what did not go into a higher dimension. All these cities, they did not, how can I say this? They did not knock off our ancestors. They did not knock off our galactic family. Our galactic family rose to the occasion. Our galactic family rose to the occasion. They did not perish. You literally have to elevate. Everything about this reality was about lowering our frequency. The pollutions, the water, the air, what we intake visually, what we intake through our mind, body and spirit and temple. Untrained sex. Number one, untrained sex. Untrained thought patterns. I don't know why Spirit said ideology. Yeah, ideology. So when these pollutions took place and these frequency wars took place, it only trapped the ones that could not rise to the occasion through frequency. Just 2015, 2016, I could see mass butterflies bigger than my body. I could see the 13-mile ropes, and I'm not talking, listen, I am not talking about a floater in your eyes. There were literally 13-mile ropes that were up in the air that looked like DNA, and I'm not talking about floaters. And it was these big massive butterflies. And once they acknowledged that I was able to see this parallel universe, that's when they did the oil spill. Remember, the oil is what keep the the resonance, the frequency. They did that mass oil spill. They didn't care if they had to sacrifice their own. That was a major shift between 2015 to 2016, 2014 to 2016. Major shift. And Spirit kept saying, who would go to war? Who would have a galactic war but not tear down the city centers? Who would go to galactic war? Who would have a planetary war but the city centers are still up with the energetic domes, towers, half moons, with the same Angkor Wat's symbolism? You see it, the copper structures that are green? That's Angkor Wat's all day. Our Asiatic cousins, brothers and sisters, forefathers and foremothers. Look at that green copper dome on a church or a government center and compare it to Angkor Wat's. It's the exact same thing. So why would this stuff be left behind in pristine shape but not destroyed? How could they wipe your memory so fast? Time is an illusion. It's all about frequency. Spirit said they are still here. You need to rise to the occasion. Just as sure as we lost access to those buildings, just as sure as that building is up and running, it's just on a different frequency. It's somebody of our culture and our background that's still accessing that building right now, but you're on the wrong plane. You're on the wrong plane. We are all on the wrong plane. Remember, higher beings do not descend. They do not descend. The only higher being that's going to descend to protect you is your own inner God, your own soul. Your soul either feel like you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. And if you don't get it, it gets the hell on. Spirit said those same buildings are active in another dimension right now. We're just seeing the byproduct of a lower frequency. That's why, oh my God, that's why they didn't destroy the buildings. Because they need those tethering nodes for their own benefit. Think about it. If I got a building or a structure and it has energetic powers, but I'm on a lower frequency, when the time is right or the time shift, I still can use that energetic power to try to tap into. See, what they fail to realize, when they lowered the vibration of the planet, they couldn't enslave everybody. Some people made it through the shift. The ones that couldn't make it through the shift, that was probably not doing what they were supposed to do, didn't make it. Think about it. Think about Tartarian technology. Those balloons and stuff, right? Why would they all disappear? They didn't disappear. They're on another frequency. And then what makes it so bad, if you understand I'm gonna just use utilitarian, okay? I want to say total, like totalitarian, okay? I want to say that. But I'm going to say utilitarian, okay? Because for some reason I can't say totality. Totalitarian, okay? Well, I'm going to say either totality or utilitarian. Well, anyway, I don't want to lose my train of thought. When they took over, you don't understand. These motherfuckers are so low in vibratory rate. Just because they're galactic don't mean these motherfuckers ain't subpar. These motherfuckers are subpar. Do you hear me? And I'm going to explain why they subpar. The battery usage that they want from us as a collective is such a weak ass energy. They don't want us in plasma form. They don't want us like the sun rays or the solar plasma. They want this slow, sluggish, I'm going to eat 3 meals a day, I'm going to drink pollution energy. Do you know the type of energy that is? That's like touching your cell phone. But what if you had the pyrokinesis to light up something? They can't even harvest that energy. That's why I'm trying to tell you, these motherfuckers are so subpar. They are so weak. Imagine that. They can't even harvest energy from us in our Merkaba state. They only can harvest energy from us in a dense 3D state where our waters barely move. They are so ratchet and tore down and, oh, child. If y'all knew how weak these motherfuckers was, driving on a grid that they created it by design, like a microchip, and the frequency that they want from us is like fucking dial-up. The frequency, oh my God, the frequency that they collect from us is like fucking dial-up. Do you know they took away 30% of your breath, 30% of your oxygen, 30% of your blood frequency, 30% of this? Like you're running on fucking E. They don't even have the technology to siphon you at an activated plasma state. These motherfuckers are so low budget, outdated. Whew. Once you realize that, you'll do better. You'll live better. You'll at least try. You'll at least try to attempt to be better. Think about it. Why they don't want you to activate your plasma state and then harness your energy, harvest your energy. You don't get it? They want you to eat Cheerios, have soft neurotoxins in your body, so they can harvest that weak ass energy. One way your brain is only working 10%. Excuse me? I could give you a lot more if you give me the right resources. Come on and harvest this energy at a plasma state. They can't do it. They are the bottom of the bottom, the scum of the scum. They bottom feeders. That's why Spirit said you don't get it. They still here. You're on the wrong plane. You're on the wrong plane, but I'm going to tell you something about the galactic world. Your resonance and frequency can reach them, but you still have like this toxic, parasitic leech energy where you have these tethers of spies. Yeah, tethers of spies. Tethers of spies are leeches, like things that are trying to decode what you see, what you hear, what's around you. You know what I mean? So you really got to go through like this self-combustion type state. You got to burn all that shit off. Because they don't want you up there. You really filthy. You really filthy. I done tapped in several times. And they kind of try to shut the door or try to manipulate your DNA because you'll get them compromised. Say it again, Revere Sky. You have to go through not only your Merkaba state, not only your Kundalini state, but you got to go through your self-combustion state, where you burn off all the chips, nanoparticles, strings, attachments, all the spyware, okay? All the Trojans and in tech term viruses. Because when you move up and you elevate, things are trying to tether to you. That's why I say certain celebrities still have their soul attached to them. That's right. When you reach a certain degree in your life, they'll send certain celebrities to come check on you. I done rode on the best dragons beyond that what's that movie? Avatars. I done had people come and try to scope me out. Yes. So remember this. We dealing with the bottom of the bottom. And you got to give yourself the opportunity or a chance. You have to. You're going to have to try. Because it's still here. You're just on the wrong vibratory rate. You're just at the wrong measure. You're just at the wrong frequency. Sit your ass on that ground and get grounded. That's the first step. Breathe in that prana, that chi. And I know you're going to be taking in neurotoxins. Hypothetically, theoretically, and allegedly. Softly wrap up with cotton. Softly buy you some 100% cotton and wrap up. And do your deep breathing. Do your deep breathing. Get your coppers. Get your golds. Get your silvers. Get your crystals. Fast. Detox. Clean your colon out. I can't explain it any cleaner. If you can just raise your frequency 15% more. And I know 1 + 5 is 6. Yeah, we 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Baby, wait till you get to 9 ether. Wait till you get to 9 ether. Then what? If you just raise your frequency in this totalitarian world, 15%, you are forced to be reckoned with. If you can keep your children at an 80%, you are forced to be reckoned with. If you can keep your grandparents and mothers, the elders, at 60%, you are forced to be reckoned with. If they got the belief gene active, they winning. If they got the knowing gene active, they galactic. If they got the I am, all-knowing gene active, they the devil. You hear me? They living. They lived. They the motherfuckers. Okay? Your frequency, that pilot in your solar plexus and your sacral energy has to activate. Let's say if you slim and trim and you got abs and you work out every week, but you still, your kundalini not rising. Your belief system is off. Your knowing is off. And there's a reason why the planet hasn't chose you. The planet essence would choose you. You don't just come into this realm utilizing you. You come into this realm utilizing what's available to you. Okay? That's one thing you got to realize. That's why you have to mineralize your body and stay away from certain frequencies that hinder the body. So when you come, let's say I put you in an ocean. You can absorb the minerals of the ocean. You can get the energy charge of the ocean. You can get the moon frequency of the ocean. And you can turn that into a quantum ball, right? If I put you in lava, you can figure out how to utilize that element. So don't think you coming into this plane of existence using something outside of it. You're not. You're utilizing what's available to you. But if your neurons are misfiring or inappropriate or being tethered by soft precious metal, not precious metals, but soft endocrine disruptors, you're going to have problems. Okay? I am so glad I saw the vision Because when you see it, you can't unsee it. Spirit was like, those are nodes. Those are anchors. They didn't just go into large cities and get rid of everybody. Like, you know how they show like the little druid, little elves, the little short people with the beards in California, and they went in and killed all, or unalived, obsolete, delete that, unalived all the tall, big people, you know, like the minions came in and knocked off all the big people, right? Spirit said sorcery too. No. All that could rise to the occasion, they rose to the occasion. Because once you see how low can you go? All the way to the flow. These motherfuckers is low budget. I'm gonna ping. You know how they showed back in the day, I'm gonna send a signal to the moon, or I'm gonna send a signal to the satellite. And you would see, they'll be like, yeah, we're gonna send this signal, ping. And it was like, oh, it's moving like 1 hour a mile or something, okay? Because if you say 1 second a mile, that's lightning. So to go a mile, it probably took 1 hour or something, right? That's how low budget the frequency they is. Come on now. You know it's low. Let's talk about the ADRE. You know what I'm talking about. They don't want your happy hormones. They want your sad and miserable hormones. They can't even benefit off of your transformation. Your transformation thrives. Your transformation is beautiful. Imagine that. They only can feed off terror, depression. Do you know how low budget that is? I think they're more miserable that they can't actually become one with nature, one with the universe, one with creation. They're literally an Obama fucking nation. They're literally apocalyptic. You feel me? Your value. You get your values right, man, you're going to be unstoppable. You get your resonance and your frequency right, you're going to be unstoppable. If you don't have to seek entertainment, you're going to be unstoppable. If you don't have to seek lust and stimulants to escape, you're going to be unstoppable. They're still here. They're just on a higher resonance, a higher frequency. No difference than our creator or creation. They're still going in and out of those buildings. The whales, the high ether whales. This is the last thing, and this is how I know it to be true. The high ether whales are still here. You got marine animals that do not swim in dense water. They swim in purple ether. This I know. Remember I told you, every now and then they want to spy on our visions, our thought, our dreams. So what they do is, They drop the frequency so you can astral project. They drop the frequency so that you can tap in to different planes of existence. And what they do is they let you go out and venture out one night, maybe 3 times a year. And when you come back, you start having those bursts of memories, those bursts of visions. And they record that data. You do not know your powers. You don't know who you are. They still here. We got about 1,000 different dimensions under this firmament. Yep. We got about 1,000 different dimensions under this firmament. Meaning you ain't got to go outside of this resonance of this existence. It's some beautiful shit. They are still here. Our elders, our tribes. I'm going to give you one last example. I know I always say that, but let me give you one more example. Let's say you're an ant and you're in this mighty jungle like the Amazon, and you got everything you need. You about the size of a spider in Australia. Big ass ant, right? And let's say something happened. Something got deforested, a flood or something happened. And y'all survived and made it to like the desert, but the resources wasn't the same. But you was able to have enough water to survive. But you didn't have the same nutrients, right? Y'all weren't big and plump like you used to be. The energy different, the air different. Not as much water, so there's no life, right? But y'all survived. Y'all made it to this location. Frequency off. You're not even on the same plane of existence, but you're still surviving. Call back that frequency. Send it out. Your mind is powerful. Send it out. Envision. Don't put no character on them. Don't put no face on them. Don't put no color on them. Just reach out to the creation of your DNA. Your forefathers and your foremothers. Reach out. And send that signal out for about a month. Phone home. And ask for guidance. Ask for guidance. They still here. It's just a thin veil of a frequency. They're still here. And you have to start, I don't know why I want to say the word idolizing, but you got to start studying your surroundings. Draw a picture. Make a replica. Go sit on the steps near these buildings. Do something. Go out there and eat a mango or a banana. Drink some coconut water. Go touch the marble. Go touch the granite. Sit on the ground and put your bare feet down. And talk to your ancestors. Talk to your galactic frequency family that's on another dimension. They right there. They're there. They're walking up and down the steps. They're using all of their stuff. We didn't get our memory wiped. Not the way you think. We didn't lose everything. Some were advanced enough. When the vibratory rate fell, we stayed with the shell and they ascended. They were able to quantum leap, quantum leverage away from the bottom feeders. Man, let me tell you something. You would see a bunch of graveyards in the back of these yards. Like, these homes up north got to be at least 200 years old. 1919, 1890, like 1850. Like, you would have had grave sites in the back of these homes. That's not the case, y'all. They ascended in the flesh. I can't convince you. Remember, all this is hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly. But Spirit told me they're still here. We're just dealing with some of the scum of the earth right now. And you gotta choose your plane of existence. Say it again, Revere Sky. You have to choose your plane of existence. You want to be on a low playing field where your matter is manipulated, or you want to be on a higher playing field where you can learn from other magi's. You can learn from other Shivas and Buddhas and Christ, Yahshuas. They're here. But they did say, don't bring that damn parasitic ass, leeching ass energy with you. You're gonna have to go through the rise of Phoenix. You're gonna have to go through the fire. You're gonna have to go through the forge. They know you can channel. Your mind is powerful. But that flesh can't come with you. Not this one. No way, not this one. It has too many compromising factors, from parasitic to nanoparticle technology. They won't allow it. So you have to go through the forge. You got to go through the rise of the Phoenix. You're going to have to dismantle a few things before they actually allow your light body to enter their realm completely. Because they'll just start tweaking your DNA and frequency and send you back down. And I know I'm saying it in like a heaven, hell state, but no. Where you are right now, if you turn into a plasma ball, you'll go to another realm. You'll go to another dimension. You'll go to another plane of existence. Get with it. Don't give up. All knowing, a little bit of belief, if not. Okay? So there we have it. I am one with the universe. I am one with creation. I am one with the universe. I am one with nature.